Good evening, everybody. My name is MSS Balasubramaniam, and I have been teaching social science in Ashram Public School, Kakinada. Today, I take this opportunity to share some of my views about the methods of teaching in social science for the high school students. Here, we all know that teaching is an interaction between the teacher and the student. So, the teacher has to impart the knowledge, and the student has to receive and use that knowledge in his day to day life experiences. But in teaching is the teaching is purely a practical oriented. So what is meant by that practical oriented means beforehand the situations have to be tuned accordingly to the needs of the student, and then only the learning of the student is possible. And also we see that every teacher, when he is going to teach or impart the knowledge, he must have some creativity and at the same time expressive. These are the two essential qualifications of a teacher. So he must have the creativity and he must have the express. Means what he wanted to express to the students, what he wanted to impart the knowledge to the students. The teacher must have the clarity before him. But here I can say that there is no particular method for teaching social science. Any method we can take, but it doesn't mean any method means the one that what we like or how what our mind instructs. It is that the method which is socially acceptable and which is trying to inculcate the hobby of learning among the student. So such methods we have to learn, we have to teach, and we have to use there. But remember here, when there are certain necessary qualifications for a teacher always, particularly the teacher who choose to teach social science in the classes. The teacher must have a profound knowledge of the subject. Why? Because it is initially the teacher that gives knowledge to the student. If the teacher has any difficulties in imparting the knowledge to the children, or if he is ambiguous in his expressions or something, student learn nothing. So that is why the necessary qualification is that the teacher must have a profound knowledge about the subject, and at the same time the teacher must always act like a guide to the children in the school. So he must be like a guide. Means whenever student comes with a doubt, when he has a doubt at home, he has parents or he has his peer group to discuss or solve the problem. You should give him some guidance or something. But the guidance that is given by the teacher is more worthy to a student than his peer group or his friends or parents. And at the same time, the teacher must be in a position to use any environment for imparting the knowledge, any kind of environment. Okay, so environment, he must for effective learning purpose, every environment the teacher has to make use and impart the knowledge to the student. And remember that child is always active. So child always likes playway method of learning. They like to learn through playway method of learning, not forceful instructions, but playful method of learning. A student always prefers there. So that is why here some of the methods we can take. Suppose if you take example, generally what is the policy or what is the methodology of teaching in the classrooms is that here all the teachers in the schools they give importance to the quantity, less the quality in their teaching. So when you take to the quality and the quantity. Teachers always rely on the quantity. So quantity means what? Volume of the lesson. Suppose if today I enter the class. If I enter the class today, my period is for 45 minutes. So within that 45 minutes of the class, how much lesson I am going to impart to the student, I will see. I never think it from the student angle. I never bother about the student. General informational, I means the teachers. So as teachers, the thing is that we are running after the time, we are running after the syllabus like anything, and we feel that we are imparting knowledge to the children, but that knowledge is always a half learned only. Okay? Why? Because we have to complete the syllabus, we have to start the revision, everything fatafat, all the things one by one has to take place. But we are not thinking how qualitative our learning or teaching learning process is going on in the classroom. That's why the result, when the evaluation of the students takes place, when the evaluation of the students takes place, then we see a poor quality of the results always. Why? There is a poor quality of the results because we rely mostly on the quantity but not on the quality. So that is why if you want or if you plan to have a better outcome in your student performance, see that it is not quantity but it is quality of teaching is very, very important. Then how to improve the quality of teaching, how to bring innovative methods in teaching means it is nothing but some methods of teaching we have to take there. So among those methods of teaching, I take one or two methods for discussion with you, for the purpose of discussion. Please see there. So the first one I can say is the best methods are what we call them as the observation method, it is called as. So one of the teaching methods, one of the methods of teaching the social science is the observation method. So what is meant by this observation method? What are these advantages? Means this observation method is a very, very effective method of teaching in the classroom. A very, very useful, very, very effective method of teaching because it helps the students in learning the facts. So it is very effective. The method, this observation method is very effective, and at the same time it is helping the students in the learning facts. It will help the students in learning the facts, in acquiring the skills, and it will help in the behavior change of the students also. This brings a lot of, so observation method is a very effective tool for learning, and as well as learning it helps the students to learn the facts, acquire some skills, and behavior also it will undergo changes for more extended period. And the third advantage is, the third one if we can take there, where we can, how this observation method can be taken as a part of our instructions. Here for observation purpose, we have to take the children to specific public places. For learning beforehand experience, we have to take the children to specific public places in our surrounding, like what we call hospitals. Second one is a police station. Next one is a fire station, means lower classes. And suppose if we are going for higher classes, we can take the children to a government office, example, a collectorate, we can take them, or we can take them to a police station, we can take them to a court, because in social science the subjects are dealing about the society only, about administration they have lessons, about the judiciary they have lessons, and about the marketing system they have the lessons. So that is why the students have to be taken to the public places, like what we call hospital is one place, next one is another, police station is one place, next one is any government offices, like collector office, or some other offices, and at the same time it is possible we have to take them to a marketplace also. A market, we have to take them to a market. Market is not a new thing to them, because they will be giving company to their parents when they go for buying vegetables or any textiles or something. When they go, they buy, and they give company to their parents. But we will make the children be active in learning the market related activities. Like example you take, maybe it is a vegetable market you take, or it is a grocery related market. So any market, then what happens, student will be knowing in person the various methods of measuring the quantity, like 100 from smaller values to the higher values. So smaller values to the higher values, how the measurement can takes place. 200 grams, 500 grams, 1000 grams, or 1 kilogram conversion from higher to the lower, lower to the higher, and assessing the price value of that particular goods also. Price value. So then these all values we can impart to the student, and at the same time we can, for higher class children, see, like in 10th class we have the lesson and money and credit lesson is there. Money and credit lesson is there. So related to those lessons, we can take the students to visit a nearby bank, a nearby commercial bank. We can take them and we can start giving them the information, what is a commercial bank, what are the functions of a commercial bank, and directly what are the functions. So beforehand, students will roam about the bank to each and every section with permission from the bank authorities. They will be taken to the bank, and students will understand how is the process of banking is taking place in them. Then what will happen? The student, when he observes, that is what we call observation method. So in a hospital, so the different cadre of the people working in a hospital, like from a nurse, doctor, operation theatre, what are the different. So like that, a police station, a government office, marketplaces, banks, these all, then what will happen is that student will have a beforehand experience, and the learning that he pursues, it will permanently remain with the student. So that is where observation method, in one way you can say that this observation method is nothing but moving close to the society. How is the observation method? Means moving close to the society. So we have to take society, the school to the society, or society to the school. So either we have to take society to the school, or school we have to take to the society, so that for the better interaction and for better learning experience, this method is always a very useful method. And the second one is what I choose to discuss is about the source method. So what is this source method? Source method is little different from that of observation method. So what is this source method means? Here we will be taking the student, again it looks like an observation method, but to teach some abstract ideas, like history related topics or geography related topics. Even we take many times the lesson we teach, we content we teach, or many what we call images we display, or many charts we bring. Student may not have the clarity of thought about the particular subject. then better take the student to places like a museum, and the second one is known as a art gallery. We can take them to an art gallery, or we can take them to the monument, visiting any monument. So means in the locality of the school, in the close vicinity of our school, or within the town limits, or within the close vicinity of our town, if any historical places are there. Because India is a country with a vast history. Even if you give volumes of oral teaching, it may not work, because student may not have an imagination about the past. Then which is the best one? Take the child to the particular place. Let the student touch those particular the objectives, like what you call a museum will take there. You know, a museum is a place where the rare collections are preserved. Rare collections, like maybe the idols of the god, the stone inscriptions, or the utensils and the tools which were used by the people long back, and which were collected during the excavation period, and which are tightly preserved in a museum. If we take the children over there, they will touch, and they will get a lot of sense about the objectives of those days. Because the tools and utensils which are in the museum, they are not simply a tool, but they are the life itself. They speak volumes of pages about the people of those days, the society of those days, the culture of those days, their dress styles, their food styles, their festivals, how they lived once upon a time on this earth. They are the silent messengers to the students. And the teacher has to discuss with them. This is what means in the books, the printing may not be clear. Even if the printing is clear, they may not give any exact idea to the children. But once when they touch the specimen, or when they take that specimen into their hands, or when they closely stand toward that one and try to observe and interacting with the officers over there, whoever is an officer over there, talking to them and collecting additional information, it leads to a permanent knowledge in the minds of the children. Even it leads to a change in the attitude and behavior of the child also. The child who does not show interest in learning social science up to them, suddenly they may change and they may show interest in learning history related aspects or geography related aspects also. So that is where the source method is a very, very useful method. And next one, if you take as so related to history, here we can say that related to history, visiting a museum, visiting an art gallery, visiting a monument. Visiting a monument, because in India it is not there is no scarcity for monuments. There is no scarcity for monuments. So only thing is interest from our side, and the zeal to learn from the student side. If these two are there, learning it becomes very effective through these source methods we say. And at the same time, suppose sometimes if it is not possible, then what we can do is that we have to utilize the habits of the students. Students may have some habits, some hobby or habits students may have, because they imitate their parents or grandparents and they follow some habits, like what we call them as some students may have stamp collection as a hobby, and some students may have coin collection as a hobby. Maybe they belonging to our country, or they may be belonging to world. So we can categorize whether it is an international stamp collection, or it is a national stamp collection, or same way coin collection also international or national, like we can. So it means suppose if a student has national collection, If student has national collection, then we have to ask the student, bring them once, and how to take care about them, because we don't know, no, simply we'll tie them in a purse, or in a cloth, we fold it and keep it in a Godrej. But sometimes what will happen, they may get some, what you call, they may spoil in their quality, they may spoil. So at that time, what precautions have to be taken as a teacher? If you teach, then certainly it will be followed by the student. And we have to be in a position to give the vast history behind the stamp that was released, or behind the coin that was released. Because in India, for example, if you take on many occasions, like the 50 years of India's independence, Swarna Jayanti celebrations of India, or Golden Jubilee celebrations of India, or Silver Jubilee celebrations, Republic Day celebrations, or in memory of any particular, like what we call recently Chandrayaan. India successfully launched Chandrayaan program. So in memory of that Chandrayaan, if any coin is released, then what is the speciality of the coin, and what are the metals used in the in minting of that coin, and any picture is imposing given there. What is the significance of that picture? See, this much information we can give to the. So until they know, they feel that it is a coin. They feel that they have many number of coins, but they don't know how to study. Collection of coins is one hobby, but studying every coin and knowing about the past of those days, and what is the value of that coin once upon a time, and what is the value of the same coin at present days, if this type of education we give them, it remains as a permanent knowledge in the minds of the children. So this is what, and even stamps also. The stamps that are released on special occasions, or in the memory of the historical leaders or national leaders, as a picturesquely regarding the integration, national integration of the country, in the memory of any what we call musicians, singers, dancers, or any memory. If the stamps are released, there is a vast history. And what is that vast history? If we teach them, and if we make them students to write it on a paper and preserve them for future, it becomes and it leads to a permanent change in the ideas, attitudes, and the behavior of the student towards the subject. Okay, so that is why stamp collection, and second one is coin collection. These also can be. And next one, if you take some are the another interesting activity is what we call the portraits of famous figures in the country, famous personalities. So famous personalities portraits, sometimes rare photographs. Some people's photographs are difficult to get. Some people photographs are very difficult to get. So suppose if they are available to the student, or if the student is very artistic in nature, then we can make the student draw that particular portrait. Then what happens? We give them not only the work to portray that, but we teach them the greatness of that particular leader. Maybe they are social reformers, maybe they are religious reformers, maybe they are politicians, maybe they are national leader, maybe whoever they are, that who worked in one particular field in the country, we will give the motivational way we speak about the greatness of that person. So in such a way we can motivate the children. So this is what I have taken two methods. One is the source method, and the second one is known as observation method. Thank you.